As we connected hundreds of millions of people to their financial accounts, we started noticing something powerful. Patterns. Not just your pet becomes a motivational speaker the second you're on a work call patterns. Systemic ones, hidden ones, the kind that you only catch when you sit at the center of a network as big and connected as ours. One of those patterns jumped out when we were helping a customer navigate a massive fraud spike tied to a promo offer. When we cross-referenced their fraud reports with our network view, looking at things like an influx of recently opened bank accounts and account takeover reports, we uncovered something that they couldn't see on their own. A coordinated fraud operation hiding in plain sight. This triggered our aha moment about the incredible potential within our network view. We realized our network isn't just good for enabling financial services, it can actually help our customers detect fraud in a way that nothing else can. So we got to work compiling fraud signals from across Plaid and started building a one-of-a-kind fraud solution. We call it Plaid Protect. Not just a rule engine, not just another score. A real-time fraud intelligence system designed to catch what others miss because it connects what others can't. At its core, Plaid Protect is two things. One, it's a cutting-edge fraud model built on top of a rich set of network data. And two, it's a best-in-class investigative toolkit designed for actual fraud teams, not just dashboards for show. Let's start with the model.
We're calling it the Trust Index, and the first model version is TI1.
It's an adaptive risk engine built from over 10,000 attributes, where we choose the most predictive ones based on your specific fraud scenarios. It's fed by multiple data streams, including network intelligence, historical bank account risk, consortium feedback, and ID verification data. First, let's talk about network intelligence. Every day, we see user interactions across over 7,000 apps, ranging from startups to the Fortune 50. And because we've seen billions of devices, we know if they're being used at high velocity to link bank accounts or verify identities, how many deleted financial accounts they're associated with, and if they've failed numerous bank login attempts. This gives us pattern recognition capacity that no single financial services company can match. Next, with historical bank account risk, we can see if a user's account was recently closed, maybe it was just opened a week ago, or if there are suspicious changes to phone numbers or emails on someone's bank account. And that's just the beginning. We surface a rich set of highly predictive attributes. Then there's consortium feedback. We incorporate fraud alerts shared by both businesses and directly from consumers. Say a bank flags an account takeover attempt, or a mortgage lender detects synthetic identity behavior. We can then surface that risk to a payments platform or a property management company seconds later. And finally, we look at a whole host of ID verification data for visibility into things like if a user's PII matches authoritative sources, someone's using emulators or residential proxies, if they've tried to send us a deepfake liveness attempt, or if their SSN looks synthetically generated. All of this contributes to the Trust Index. It's the trusted checkpoint you rely on before you let a user do anything important, from onboarding to extending a loan. And it's designed to tackle tough fraud, like stolen and synthetic identities, first-party fraud, and ATOs. That's a look at the intelligence engine powering Plaid Protect. Now, let's dive into how you actually use that intelligence. Yes, it helps with your final onboarding decision, but its real power actually starts much earlier. Protect starts scoring fraud risk the moment a device touches your onboarding flow, generating a meaningful risk signal before the user even types in their name. How? Because most devices aren't new to us. With more than 1 in 2 US individuals having used Plaid, we've interacted with most devices, and we can link that data to historical sessions we've captured across thousands of apps as a means to prevent fraud. So, before you even collect the user's name, Protect gives you an initial risk assessment right at the start of onboarding. That's more data with fewer inputs. As you collect more data over time, phone number, email, name, SSN, the Trust Index updates constantly, refining the risk picture and helping you apply the right amount of friction, like selfie checks and ID documents, at the right time. That means better conversion too. With smarter signals, you can confidently let more good users in while keeping fraudsters out. Case in point, analyzing results with an early customer showed that intelligently stepping up just 5% of users could have led to catching nearly 40% of first-party fraud that got through their existing defenses. That is a major fraud win with minimal user impact. And Protect keeps monitoring. If a user's risk profile changes post-onboarding, you'll know. We'll proactively send you webhooks if there's new fraud-related events for your users, because fraud doesn't end at sign-up. Now, let's talk about the part your team will use every day, the toolkit. Let's jump into a quick demo focusing on the Explore view. Think of it as your personal search engine for fraud. All right, so every event, new devices, IDV instances, bank links, it's all logged here. By default, you're seeing the full stream of activity across your platform, with the Trust Index score helping you spot potential issues. Up top, we see the event frequency. Let's look at the last few days. Aha, look here. See this pattern? There was an initial spike of risky events, but notice how it didn't just drop back down. Instead, it settled into a new, elevated level of medium risk activity. That's not noise. That's fraudsters finding a new attack vector and hitting it over and over. That's exactly the kind of persistent threat that we need to investigate and write a rule for to plug a hole before it causes more damage. Let's investigate. Let's open one of these medium risk sessions from that period. Looking at this session, what stands out? Right here, we see two interesting flags contributing to the risk score. This user linked a high number of bank accounts recently, and look at the phone details. It's associated with very few services and has a tenure of less than a month, suggesting it might be a burner phone. So, our hypothesis is that this spike might be driven by attackers using burner phones to link a lot of new accounts rapidly. With Protect, we can test that instantly. Let's jump into the Explore view. The best part? You can just type what you know. No need to know field names or special syntax. I'll type users who linked more than 3 accounts last week and have a phone tenure less than 1 month. It thinks, builds the query, and bingo! Look how that narrows it down. The chart shows the spike clearly, and we've filtered out most of the low-risk traffic by combining those conditions. We've isolated the pattern. Now, here's one of the best parts. Searching is rule creation. Most companies are stuck analyzing data in one place, then manually porting those insights into a separate fraud rule engine. This adds overhead, increases time to action, and creates room for error. With Protect, those 2 steps collapse into one. You analyze and operationalize in a single motion. We just take this successful search, capture it, and tell it what to do with the traffic, then deploy the rule. It's live immediately. And that's the core loop. See a pattern in Explore, quickly investigate a representative case to form a hypothesis, use search to isolate it, and instantly turn that insight into a live rule. No handoffs, no switching tools, just straight from insight to action. That's the power of Plaid Protect, combining cutting-edge fraud intelligence with best-in-class tools designed by people who work with fraud every day. And what you've seen is just a glimpse. We'll be doing a deep dive session on this, so make sure to check it out if you want to learn more. Plaid Protect gives you insights you've never seen before, and the power to act on them fast. It protects your platform, earns trust with genuine users, and streamlines your entire fraud response. By tapping into the full strength of the Plaid network, Protect helps you catch risk earlier, respond faster, and ultimately build a safer digital economy for everyone. If you're interested in learning more, reach out to your account manager directly to join the beta. Thank you.